Okay. So, anyways, like I was saying, October focuses on Emotional Wellness Month, actually. And so, as you can imagine, emotional wellness can really pertain to caregivers in a very big way because as a caregiver, you're having all kinds of scenarios thrown at you day in and day out that you have to think quick of how to overcome. Can anybody relate to that?
Yeah.
So, you're constantly having to adapt to the ever-changing situations. You one day things are one way, the next day things are different. So we understand that, and we know as a caregiver, you're constantly, like I said, just having to overcome obstacles, adapt to new situations, and figuring out how to work through all that. So, like I said, October focuses on Emotional Wellness Month. And so we are going today to talk about some things of how we can maintain our emotional wellness, how to identify our stress levels, and maybe how to implement some changes in our lives by identifying those stressors that maybe aren't even necessary. So, like I said, we're going to talk about how to identify some things, how to maintain our emotional wellness, and talk about really some resources of how you can ensure that you're doing that. Because stress, as we all know, comes in various amounts in our lives. Some days things are good, some days they're not. You just never know. And so, depending on the demands of each of our lives, of our day to day activities, our emotional health can take a toll. So, as you can imagine, you can probably relate to that very well. Um, and so, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through a PowerPoint of identifying stressors, things that you can practice to maintain your emotional wellness. And if any time you want to add something or you just want to share something with the group, please feel free. You can talk whenever you want to. Like I said, if you want to add anything, just let me know. If you have an experience you want to share, please feel free. But we'll go ahead and go through this. Now I'm gonna have to see if can y'all see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you see it moving?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Okay, so we're talking about emotional wellness, and this is just saying positive emotions undo negative emotions. So who can relate to that? Is there something in a stressful situation where that are causing you negative emotions, like maybe a conflict or something? What is something that y'all do, or maybe you practice regularly to help overcome those negative emotions in the moment? Do any of y'all have a tactic of being able to step away and doing something different to fight against that situation?
Taking a break.
Taking a break is always, that's our goal here is to give you a break. A break, respite is ultimately the best thing you can do for yourself, especially as a family caregiver, just to step away from your normal situation and just have time for yourself. So, I've got here 9 characteristics of an emotionally healthy person. So, let's see. So I've got self-awareness. So an emotionally well person can look at the self and redirect emotions when needed to navigate stress or elation. Self-acceptance is a sign of an emotionally well person. So working hand in hand with self-awareness, emotionally healthy people accept themselves and can better handle adversity with clarity. Self-care, that is a big thing that relates back to respite. Self-care for oneself is intentional. So respite, we identify that as something that you're doing to take a break for yourself, which is ultimately self-care. You're having to intentionally take a step back and do something for yourself. So it is intentional and it's regularly practiced by an emotionally healthy individual. So by identifying the fact that you need respite, identifying how important it is to you and the benefits it has to you can be a emotionally well characteristics of yourself. So if you're practicing that regularly and you're able to identify that that is something crucial to your well-being, that's a good practice for you to have. So also emotional agility. With an open mind and curious thought process, thriving through difficulties is possible. So that's just being able to encounter a situation and being able to overcome it, like we talked about earlier. As a caregiver, especially, you have different situations arise very quickly that you have to work through at a moment's notice. And so emotional agility is just being able to come to a situation with an open mind, being able to work through it without getting overwhelmed, and being okay at the end of it all. So, also some more characteristics of an emotionally healthy person would be having coping skills. So, practicing coping skills when times are calm will result in higher levels of resilience when things are not calm. Adversity is inevitable because this is real life, obviously. And then emotional capital is what you build when at peace. So, it all goes back to just being able to handle those moment situations that arise, the good times, the bad, being able to take advantage of the good moments and, really taking those to heart, and then just being able to work through the bad times. Kindness is, an emotionally healthy person treats others with kindness and integrity. They do so without expectation of reward. So caregivers a lot of time are so burnt out and so needing a break and needing time to take time away from providing, around the clock care for an individual, that they don't always come off as very kind. Has anybody felt like they have experienced that?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a time in all of our lives where we're not the kindest people. Life's tough. We all have situations where it could affect our moods or whatever. So kindness, even somebody emotionally well, you may be going through something, you may be irritated with a situation going on, but still being kind and maintaining kindness towards other shows that you are emotionally well and you're taking care of yourself. So an emotionally healthy person also treats others with kindness and integrity. They do so without expectation of reward, so that goes hand in hand with being kind. You are being kind without expecting anything in return, and a lot of people have a hard time with that. And unfortunately, that is just a common problem. But somebody emotionally stable and well and healthy, they are going to be able to show that kindness, be nice to others without expecting anything in return for it. So, also, people living with a purpose will think about their inner experiences less and focus on how their experience can serve others. So, that is also so a lot of family caregivers that we encounter, they're very disheartened by other people in their lives, like family and friends, that they feel don't care about them or their situation. And it's just, a lot of the times it's not because people are ugly or being mean. It's just a lot of times they just don't understand what you're going through or the experiences that you're having to deal with. And that is hard. In the moment, being a caregiver, that is very hard. And so just knowing that you're doing the right thing, that you can't blame things on other people or you can't expect, things from other people, and just being able to carry on and get the job done as well as you can, that is going to be a good characteristics if you're emotionally healthy. So also, an emotionally healthy person can manage stress well and regularly practice moments of serenity. So that goes back to respite, really. And like I said, respite to us is just any sort of break for a family caregiver. That's a break to you. We don't tell you what respite is to you. For me, respite's just laying down in bed with my eyes closed in the dark and quiet for a few minutes. Respite for one of y'all could be reading a book or just sitting down to read the paper or do a crossword puzzle or eat a piece of cake or go on vacation. So that's just any sort of break for you is going to be a big benefactor to your overall health, and it's going to help you manage your stress. And ultimately, managing your stress is going to alleviate a lot of unnecessary problems in your life. And I know that's easier said than done, but there are situations where you can try to, just maintain your well-being. And if you can identify those moments, even if they're very few and far between, you can take advantage of those, and that's going to benefit you a lot. So, set some goals for reducing stress in your life. So, if you know right off the bat, on Wednesdays, maybe you know that you've got to give your loved one, that's bath day. And maybe that's a huge stressor in your life. Setting yourself up for goals for that day to eliminate some stress may be helpful in that situation. And that's just an example. We all probably have things in our day-to-day lives that we dread or just cause us stress. So if you can identify those situations and identify, hey, maybe on bath day, if I have an extra set of hands here, or maybe I can get home health to come in and do baths, like something to eliminate a stressor in your life or even help it is going to be beneficial. So hand in hand with that, assessing your stressors could be beneficial in your life. You could do that by reviewing your financial plan. So make sure your plans align with your savings and income. You may need to readjust for the future or change current spending habits. So especially with caregiving, depending on your situation, it does come with a lot of unexpected financial scenarios. And so just preparing for the future is always going to be beneficial to a caregiver or not. Any of us that we can plan financially for the unknown, the future, that's going to be beneficial and reduce some stress that may arise when an unknown financial situation comes up, and we'll be better prepared for it. And then calculate screen time. So I'm not sure, if all of y'all, I know the younger generations are, spend a lot of time online on social media, on Facebook and YouTube and wherever. And that's become really, really unhealthy for especially our younger generation. But a lot of adults I know, they just spend a lot of time on their phones, on the computer. And so the amount of time we spend online, it really impacts our emotional health, because especially if you're on social media, you're really being exposed to just a reel of everybody else's lives. And on social media, all of our lives, look perfect. And we all know nobody's life is perfect. And so if you're sit at home burnout and you're seeing, oh, Susie down the road, it looks like she just has no worry in the world, having the time of her life. If you're just scrolling through stuff online, seeing that nonstop, that's obviously going to have a negative effect on your emotional health, because you're going to wish that your life was different. You're going to think, so-and-so is having, such better luck than me, or just way better. So that is, yes, too much drama on Facebook. Yes. We have got that in the chat. There is too much drama on Facebook. So just all of that, everything that comes with social media is negative. And so just really maintaining your screen time. It is a good outlet sometimes to reconnect with family members, friends, but it can be very negative on your emotional health. So just be aware of that. And if you think maybe that's the case, maybe consider, limiting it to, maybe say, okay, at lunch, I'm going to spend 15 minutes and just scroll through my phone, see what's going on, and that's just it for the day. So identifying if that's a problem in your life or not, you can do that. And I would just suggest that accordingly if you think it does have a negative effect on you. And then assess resources available to you. From videos to free counseling sessions, these benefits provide substantial relief when life seems upside down. So obviously with Alabama Respite, my program, that is a huge thing that we promote. Please take advantage of resources available to you. And y'all are on a good start. You're here today, and that's good. You know, you just being on this training right now is a form of respite for you if you realize it or not. But just having time away from your normal day-to-day life, listen to about a topic, being surrounded, you know, with the people in your same shoes, which the people in this meeting with you are the people that can relate to you best because they're most likely going through the same things as you. So you're already on a good start by taking advantage of stuff like this. But there is a lot of therapists and counseling services are being administered online now because of COVID. So that's a good opportunity, especially for caregivers that wouldn't normally be able to leave the house to take advantage of something like that. They could take advantage of that now since it's online. And then us, especially Alabama Respite, we are doing pretty much, I mean, not pretty much, pretty much, we are doing everything virtual at this point. So all of our trainings, I would normally be doing this in person across the state, but because of COVID, I'm doing it online, and we're actually having a better turnout online because it is more accessible, especially to family caregivers. So just take advantage of that. And we actually, on our website at alabamarespite.org, if you go to the Attend tab, we are actually starting to post more online events other than just ours. So you can go there and see what's going on across the state on multiple social media platforms of seeing what other agencies are doing. And you can take advantage of those too. So keep an eye out on our website and take advantage of the free resources for you. That is one good thing that I think has come out of COVID. So many things have went virtual, so a lot of more people than normal are able to take advantage of stuff like this. So that's really good. And so also, it's important to remember the relationships in your life. I've got a question in the chat box. Is all of these resources on your web page? So yes, if you go to alabamarespite.org and go to attend, that's where we're sharing multiple events across the state, or I mean, they're all virtual. But yes, just go to our website and go to attend, and we're updating that regularly. And also we send out a monthly newsletter. That newsletter, we send it out at the first of every month. And I think we're just posting on there what we're doing as our organization. But if you would like to receive that, just to be in the know of what's going on, you can go to our website and sign up for that there. So that will come to your email at the beginning of every month. And then, like I said, you can always go to our website and see the events going on. And we keep everything updated, all of our events on our Facebook page as well, if you ever look at that. So yes, and then you can always email us, anybody on our team, for any resources you may need, and we are more than glad to help. So back to this, assessing the stresses in your life. So remembering the relationships in your life, this is a really big one, especially for family caregivers. Friends, family, and even coworkers improve our social and spiritual well-being by keeping us connected. So a huge stress, I think like I mentioned a little bit ago, is caregivers feel very isolated, very alone. Just because, like I said, people, if they haven't been through what you've been through, they just don't understand, you know, we can't really blame people for that. But a common huge problem we encounter is other family members that are not willing to help. And unfortunately, I don't know how we'll ever overcome that. That's just an ongoing problem. And that alone causes a lot of family caregivers stress. And like I said, there's no fix to that. We can't make people care or anything like that. So always reach out to us if you need somebody to talk to, or just, you know, whatever you may need, because that does cause a lot of caregiver stress, and we hate that. So if you do have family and friends that still would like to maintain a relationship with you and are still making the effort, take advantage of that. I'm not saying you have to go out to dinner with these people or even, you know, spend time with them, but even if you have someone that's calling you or that you feel comfortable with calling just to talk like once a week or whenever, once a month, take advantage of that. You have no idea how beneficial it is for you to have an outlet like a friend, of somebody you can just talk to. Don't even have to be about your day-to-day life, just anything, even if it's just hearing about their life, you know. So try to maintain that if you have it available to you. And then assessing your physical health, keeping up with routine health checks, also add healthy eating habits and increase physical activity to reduce overall anxiety. So a big thing that I share on self-care for family caregivers is maintaining your physical health, because it is very common for family caregivers to, you know, put all their energy and time into providing care for someone else. And so yourself gets neglected. And the next thing you know, you're ill and you're not able to provide care for your loved one. So a huge stressor in your life may be trying to maintain your well-being plus maintain the well-being of someone else. So that may be a point where you have to step back and say, hey, you know, I need to take care of myself. And sometimes that is not an option for some people, and we understand that. But ultimately, you're here to provide care for someone else, and you can't do that if you're not taking care of yourself. So sometimes it's just a matter of identifying that and do what you need to do to maintain your health, to maintain the health of your loved one. And then this just says an emotionally healthy person manages stress well and regularly practices moments of serenity. So that goes right back to respite. Being emotionally healthy is being able to manage the stress in your life, realize that you need to take a break for yourself, taking advantage of that. And so that is a big one. And so I'm sure all of y'all are familiar with our program, Alabama Respite, but if y'all have any questions about it, let me know. We have our regular voucher reimbursement program that you can be on if you're caring for anybody of any age with any diagnosis in Alabama. But if you're on another respite program like Medicaid waiver or the VA or anybody that provides respite, you're not eligible for our program. But we have emergency funding for you guys. So say you have a situation where you haven't taken care of yourself and God forbid you have to be hospitalized, or you know something happens to you where you're out of pocket for a little while. You can call us and say, hey, you know, I've had this come up, I need help, and we can send you an emergency voucher for that situation, even if you do not qualify for our normal program. So keep that in mind, and keep that in mind for anybody you know caring for someone with a diagnosis throughout the state. Unfortunately, a lot of people still don't know that we're a resource, a free resource at that, and we're statewide. And so any caregiver you know, give them our number, and we will get them on our program to take advantage of our free resource. So I have a little game. Can y'all hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Just my internet was lagging, so I didn't want to make sure I wasn't frozen. But I have a little game, and I don't know if y'all are going to be able to handle this because it's going to require y'all to talk a little bit. So let's pull ourselves together, y'all, okay? So I'm going, this is going to tie into our emotions. And so I'm going to give you a couple of minutes. And if you're able, if you're at home and you're able, I want you to get up, and let's say I'm going to give you 3 minutes to go find a single object in your house that makes you feel happy, sad, mad, and calm. Y'all got that?
What was the last?
Calm. C-A-L-M. Calm.
One object?
Just something.
Are you supposed to have all the same emotions for this one object, or find an
So
object
four different. Four
okay,
different.
so 4 different ones.
So I originally said 3 minutes. Let's do 4 minutes. That sounds a little bit better. Let's do 4 minutes to get 4 individual items. One item that makes you feel happy, one that makes you feel sad, one that makes you feel mad, and one that makes you feel calm. So y'all think y'all can do that?
Yes.
And so get those. You have 4 minutes. My clock says, well, I have 2 clocks right here, and they each say a different time, so I don't know what time it is. Let's say it's 10:37. Come back. So 10:37, come back and have all 4 of your items, and we'll talk about them.
Okay, happy, sad, calm, and what?
Mad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sad, calm, and mad. Happy. Okay, I got mine.
Okay. All right, I'll give a few more minutes for everybody to make it back.
You said happy, sad, and calm, and mad?
Yep, you got it. And I'm not looking for anything in particular. I got a message about that. Nothing in particular, just things that make you personally feel those emotions. All right. We've got a few more that haven't made it back yet, so we'll give y'all a few more minutes. Did y'all have trouble finding stuff, or was it pretty easy?
Yes, no, it was a little
No.
challenging.
No. We're trying to learn how to use our resources around us.
Yes.
That's right.
Good morning. Can you even tell me if I'm connected correctly? Can you hear me?
Everything looks good to me.
Okay, good.
So go ahead. It looks like everybody's made it back. Go ahead and unmute yourselves if you're able. I don't think Kristen's able, but if she wants to say, she can tell us in the chat about her things that she got. But would anybody like to show us some things that they got that made them happy? Okay, go ahead.
Candy.
My daughter, the artist, and this is one of her paintings.
Okay, that is so pretty.
Thank you. She likes paint animals.
Okay. So Stephanie, what do you have?
I have a picture of my husband. He has a way of calming me down and just saying funny things that just gets my mind off of, the sometimes burdensome things that he can see in my countenance. So
Yes.
he has a really way of calming me down and just making me happy. Say little things that make me happy.
Well, that's awesome. A lot of people aren't fortunate to have someone in their life like that. So that is awesome that you have someone like that in your life. So that's good. So who else has something that makes them happy?
I have flowers that grow in my yard.
Okay, yes, I do. I
Great.
love flowers, so I relate to that. So I got for my happy item this little picture. As you can see, it's supposed to be a little pumpkin, but this is my little baby's bottom, her foot. So that makes me happy. My mother-in-law did that, and I told her, I was like, you're lucky she didn't have an accident while you were doing that. But that makes me happy, her little bottom. But everybody that comes to my office, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, that's her booty cheeks.
I have a greenhouse that makes me happy.
Okay. That sounds very nice and relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
Very. All right. So anybody else that wants to share something that made them happy?
Well, this photo of my husband and myself, I'm a recent widow, so this photo actually makes me both happy and sad. At times, it really perks me up just to look at it and remember the good things and think about whether or not he would support how I'm handling things now or not. And then, of course, most of the time it makes me sad.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear that. I know that's a very tough loss, so I will keep you in my thoughts. I hate to hear that, but yes, that is a lot of mixed emotions when we see things like that. A loved one that we lost. It's oftentimes hard not to be sad, but we try to be happy to remember, those good times, and so it is hard. So what is something that you got that makes you mad?
I have that too.
Oh.
This is not good for me to admit, because this relates to maintaining relationships, and that's my biggest downfall. But telephone makes me. I don't like for it to ring. I don't like receiving phone calls. I hear it ring, and I'm, oh no, who is that? And that's not good. That's not healthy. But it's as I walked around my house eating candy, as I walked around my house, the thing that really irritates me is the phone.
Really? You just don't like talking to people?
No, that's not. I mean, once I get to talking to them, I guess I like it. Like right now, I just sat here like a lump on a log for a while, but now I'm beginning to enjoy this. Yeah. But when the phone first rings, it just makes me angry, as if it's an intrusion.
I can kind of see that. I sometimes, when my phone rings, it's not that I don't enjoy people calling me. I get so anxious when my phone rings, because I've had so many phone calls in my life with bad news. And so every time my phone rings, I relate to that. And I just feel anxious when my phone rings, because I'm afraid I'm going to pick up and I'm going to get a phone call that somebody's died or something's happened to somebody, because that's happened to me so much. And so I can understand that. We've all had situations in our life that can cause us to have some sort of emotion about certain triggers like that. So yeah, your phone ringing can make you mad. It makes me anxious. Some people jump with joy. And my husband, y'all, he could talk for days. For days.
My husband could have.
He jumps for joy when his phone rings, because Lord, that man, he loves to talk. So.
Well, see, I could always rely on him to take phone calls. Yeah. I didn't have to. He would.
Oh, well.
This dog kept barking all night last night. All night. Now that made me mad.
Well, my mad item is a picture of my dog, who also kept rustling around in the night last night, waking me up over nothing. I don't know what he was after or what he was doing or what he heard, because nobody else heard anything. But yeah, I have a 3-month-old baby that sleeps better than this thing. So, does anybody else have any items that you got that makes you mad?
Yeah, sure. An IEP. An IEP makes me mad and sad.
Okay. Melvin says medical bills make him mad. Kristen says a music speaker makes her happy. Mad is her son's medications, because he fights them every night. Who can relate to that? I can see that. Giving medication to really anybody, especially a child in general, is a nightmare most of the time. So I can understand that.
All right.
Stephanie, you have something that makes you mad?
Loud music.
Really?
Yes. We have a neighbor, they got a young son, and the speakers at their house sometimes at 10 and 11 o'clock, it wakes up my mom and gets her all confused. And he just plays it all night sometimes, seem like. So good. I like calming music, but we've had to deal with him about that and his parents about that. So that it just makes.
Have they been able to get him under control?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
But not most of the time. No, I just have to try to keep her calm, and just let her know nobody's breaking in or nobody's trying to harm her. But
yeah.
loud music, like I say, irritate.
I understand that. I have a truck driving school across the street from where I live, and they come in at 5:30 and 6 o'clock in the morning with the boom, boom, boom on the speakers and beep, 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 locking their cars. One morning I got out there and I showed how crazy they made me feel. And I turned my speakers up just as loud as theirs. And they haven't done it since.
Well, sometimes you just
I think they thought, well, this is a crazy woman over here. We better not mess with her.
You probably scared them. Doris says her husband makes her mad by calling her 4 to 5 times back to back. I can understand that. I told y'all my husband loves to talk. So sometimes I just have to press deny on that phone call because he will call me one too many times and I'll be like, okay, gotta go, and he just keeps talking, and yeah, I understand that. I know, and I know if I had someone that didn't like to talk, I'd be sad. I want somebody to talk, so I'm trying to appreciate it. Okay, I'm trying. Okay, so, did y'all find anything that makes you sad in your house?
I'm sad because I can't visit my dad like I want to. He's in assisted living, memory care, and we get very short porch visits, and that's it.
So many people, so many people have been experiencing that, and I hate that. My grandfather lives in assisted living, and we've had the same situation with that. And what's horrible is he recently had a bowel obstruction and had to have 4 feet of his small intestines removed. And while he's 82, so it was a major surgery for him, but he's okay now. He's recovering slowly but good. And it's awful, but we've got to see him since he's been in the hospital. So, I hate that it makes us feel that way, this COVID ordeal, we've been isolated from so many people, and then it's sad because now something bad happened to my grandfather and I was able to see him, which made me happy, but it's been a time. Like I said, I have a 3-month-old, so I had to, it was just my first baby, so I had to give birth to my first baby without any of our family being able to be there, and that just tore me up. I mean, a lot of people told me, you're going to love the alone time without people bombarding you, but I would have rather my family been there, it was just a big time. I've had multiple family friends and family members that have passed away during COVID that, has affected funerals and everything. So it's just been awful. So yes, my mad item is, it's kind of a mad and calm item, but I have this picture of my aunt and my little baby girl. My aunt just passed away in August, and this is the one and only time she got to meet her before she, the one and only time my aunt got to meet my baby before she passed away. So it makes me sad but calm because I'm glad she at least got to see her with COVID and just everything. So did anybody else have any items that make them mad? If you didn't, that's good. I was hoping y'all didn't have much.
Picture of my brother
in your house. Natalie has a
passed away when he was 30. And my parents never recovered, and they died a couple of years after that.
Oh my goodness.
I lost a lot of my family all together.
Yeah, I can relate to that. Very sad. Well, did y'all find anything that makes you calm?
Yeah. My candle.
Yeah.
Lighting my candles.
Oh, we got 3 candles. 4. That is
Mine has 3 different flavors.
Oh.
As they burn.
Oh.
So I can't wait until the next level.
Yeah, that gives you something to look forward to. I like that. I like that. Yes, I do. I really enjoy burning candles in my house, and having fresh flowers in my house makes me very calm. So yes, that's a big thing for me. While you were finding these items in your house, did you see items that you were able to identify and see it and think, oh, that makes me mad, I need to get rid of that? Did anybody experience that?
Yeah.
Well,
the clutter.
Today, maybe you can assess some things in your house and get rid of the stressors, get rid of the things that irritate you, and fill your home with things that make you happy and calm.
I need somebody to come in and take out all this clutter.
Well, somebody's gonna have to come take out mine first. So.
Well, I have a calendar here. It makes me mad, but I need to keep it because it keeps me on course, but the first of the month when you're handling your finances and somebody else's, and you're trying to get receipts and all of the checks and everything balanced up, sometimes you just want to take this and a checkbook and just throw it out.
Yeah, money in general drives me insane. Bills, everything. Yeah, I have a calendar here to my right that's my bill calendar. Tells me when everything's due, and I could about burn that thing. So, so yeah, I understand that. Kristen has suggested that us go watch a show called Get Organized on Netflix. She said it'll make us want to declutter. So maybe we need to look into that.
I have seashells scattered all over my house. The memories of going to the beach is calming.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I have those in my bedroom.
In their house that reminds them of a happy memory, or just promotes calmness for you?
I have seashells too. I love them.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a couple in my guest room. I guess I want my guests to be calm. I need to put them where I see them. So, yeah. Well, that's good. Well, maybe after this, when you were going about your day in your house, maybe you can identify some things that are on your nerves or make you ill just by seeing them that you didn't maybe realize before, and maybe you could consider getting rid of those things and filling your house with things that promote happiness and calmness, and because that's going to be a form of respite for you. It all ties back to respite, just you enjoying your time and taking time for yourself and taking time to do things that make you happy. So try to do that and see if that's something that you could do. So I'm about wrapped up here. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about, or anything I can help y'all with?
Carley, there are a bunch of ladies at our church, and we didn't know it was as many there as it is that are caregivers now for their parents.
Oh.
And so we're trying to get a support group, organized. We always call each other and send each other little encouraging messages through the mail and everything, but we're trying to get organized to where we can, meet maybe virtually or on Zoom and just talk, And so any information or any suggestions you can give us, or if your website has any information about forming support groups, we would love to have it.
So I don't think we have anything on forming them, but we have, I don't know if y'all are familiar, we have Alabama Respite, our own support group called Break that we do once a month. And it used to be in person just here in Huntsville. But with COVID, it's kind of actually been beneficial because now it's just online and anybody can attend. So it's called Break, and I always advertise it on our website. So maybe if y'all wanted to, all of y'all attend one of those one month and kind of just see how we do it and get an idea of what to do from there. I think that would be good, but yeah, we don't really have like a how-to. But like I said, it may be beneficial just to sit in on another one or attend another one to kind of get an idea of what ours is really laid back. And we normally do an activity of some sort and just kind of just chit chat. So yeah, maybe that's something to consider.
Okay, I'll make that suggestion to everyone.
Okay. And like I said, if you would like to attend something like that or any other trainings, how you RSVP to this one on our website under attend, that's how you would do the same for any the support group or anything else we have going on. And like I said, we are posting other agencies' events on our website as well. And most everything's online, obviously, because of COVID. So if you want to take advantage of other resources, keep an eye out there. And, you know, we have stuff all the time going on. So just keep an eye out. And like I said, you know, if y'all need help with anything or just want to reach out, feel free to email me or give us a call. But after this, if you did not, please put your first and last name in the chat box. I know you were here. And then after this, please shoot me an email and say, hey, I attended the training. And you will, once you send that, that'll be my verification that you were here, you stayed, and I'll send you the link for the post test, and you'll do that, and that's how you'll get credit for being here. So just be sure, and it was my email address that emailed you the link to this meeting. So just go back to that email, and that's my email address, thecfrensley@ucphuntsville.org. But I hope y'all enjoyed this, and I did record this, so if you have any friends that didn't make it, I'll try to post this to our YouTube channel before the end of the week, so that'll be a resource for them as well. But anything else y'all want to talk about? You got it? Okay, well, just be sure to shoot me an email, let me know you were here, and I'll send you the post test back. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. I hope y'all did too and got some useful information and use this as a little bit of respite for you. And I look forward to seeing all you again soon.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.